Behind you.
There we go.
Behind you.
What I've noticed is that there's a lot of people from Australia here. What is it in the Australian water that just pushes you further ahead, other than my only reference point of being strictly ballroom?
Vegemite.
True. I think in Australia, because we're so far away from everything, that we have a drive to push harder and to be better so that we can make it in that big world, be it the UK or the US. And actually in Perth, Jason's grandfather started the first ballroom dance studio, and the amount of ballroom dancing and how things grew there was just amazing. And so when we've all followed Jason and his partner Peter, since we were kids, and so to be a part of their show and what they've created and their legacy, in a sense, is just quite surreal and also quite amazing. But yeah, being Aussie, we're naturally hard workers anyway. And like I said, it's you want to be out there and be in the world, and because we're so far away from everything, we have to work twice as hard.
Hi, amazing show, guys. Stunning. A lot of you come from competitive ballroom dancing backgrounds. How have you found the difference being part of a company to being, very much a couple and competing, I guess?
I think it all took us a little while to make that transition from, we all used to compete against each other, as you said, so instead of digging the elbow into each other's back as we go past them, it's quickly adapted to become a real positive team environment. And I think that's actually a really addictive thing when you step out of the competition world into this environment where you're just performing for the same goal with your friends. It's a really addictive feeling.
So you do it again. No more competitive.
No, not for us.
Just to let you know, on this stage we've got a lot of couples who were the champions of their own particular country before they felt that inner Paul Mercurio and sort of felt the strictly ballroom thing and decided they wanted something different out of the dancing. So this project was something they all gravitated towards because they all wanted to take ballroom dancing in a slightly different direction. Because we all see the competition world, but we thought, how good will it look if we were to put these guys all in a theatrical environment, and to see these guys work off each other, the energy they create on stage. When you're standing in the wing, you have to just stop yourself to wanting to jump out there with them. It's just so incredible to see what they create between each other, and it's sort of different and fresh with these guys every night. So it's quite incredible to be around.
Hi guys, my first memories of dance was watching the black and white minstrel show on a Sunday evening, which ages me somewhat, but I was absolutely hooked then, but there was absolutely no way that I could have gone and achieved the sort of things that you have. So my question would be, what was it that actually brought you to where you are today? How much was parental influence? How much was it a desire in your own hearts to be a dancer? Or when did you know that that's who you were going to be?
About 5 minutes ago, for me. Fairly recently.
My grandparents on both sides, my father's and my mother's, were ballroom dancers. My parents met ballroom dancing, and I met my wife ballroom dancing. So I probably wouldn't exist without ballroom dancing. But, and my mom is a dance teacher, and she got me started at 4 or 5. But there came a point in my life where I decided, I went to college, I got a degree, and I was working this desk job. And I had already danced and competed throughout my youth, and I was taking a break, and I was sitting at the desk, and I was miserable. And it was, for me, inside, I realized that I was a born entertainer, and I couldn't fight it. And the next week, auditions for So You Think You Can Dance in the U.S. were coming to town, and my wife's like, "Do you want to audition?" And I said, "Let's do it." And here I am. I met Jason on So You Think You Can Dance, and I know that that's part of my life journey, and I think we all have that similar feeling inside that we're born to do this, and it makes us happy, and we do it because we see the looks on your faces as we perform every night. We draw from that. We're proud to do it.
Standing there in the middle looking handsome. Anyone a question for Mr. Fortuna?
Thank you, Harley.
Stop flirting.
This is going to be quite embarrassing if no one puts their hand up.
I have a question.
Ali has one.
You're going to do the one.
So Brian, I got a question for you.
No, you can have
Okay. What does it feel like coming from the strictly professional tour to a real show like Burn the Floor?
First of all, is there anyone from the BBC in the building? In all honesty, I've been very fortunate in my career to work with a lot of different companies, but never with a company like this, and I've never been inspired so much. These guys have work ethic like you cannot believe, and the energy that you see on stage is not just on stage during the show. It's like that during rehearsals and backstage and in everything that they're doing. And Jason's vision for what he wants this show to be is something that is really, really special, and in my opinion is the best dance show in the world.
Sorry, I'm being greedy. Just to follow on, this is probably for a combination of you, Ali and Brian. Obviously, you were not involved in the show on Broadway, so how did your scenes get incorporated into the show as it existed?
Well, when we first knew that Brian and Ali, when we were coming to the West End, we knew that Strictly Come Dancing had such a big following here, and we instantly decided it would be great to somehow merge these two guys who we were really interested in from the beginning to come into our show. And then so what we did, I sort of sat down on YouTube and watched everything that Ali's been doing. On the bill and in Hollyoaks. And it was really easy from there because I saw what their strengths were together, and I was just sort of blown away by this beautiful relationship they had together when they danced. And so it was really important for me to find numbers for them in the show, and we adapt all the choreography in the show all the time. We never freeze the show, so people always swap roles and swap solos and stuff like that. So when we came to London, the parts that Brian and Ali were in tonight were just more or less handmade for them in the few weeks leading up to when we opened.